In today's video, we're going to dive into 90% silver warning once again. This is very, very important of what I am seeing, so please stay tuned for the whole video. I would appreciate that very, very much. We will also dive into an update I reported on of a guy bringing in $300 worth of face, 90% silver half dollars. And he was a little teed off, I would say, that we found out who he was and we had his phone number, but this coin was worth over $2,300. You know, we had to do the right thing trying to help this guy out. We will dive into that, so please like, share, and subscribe. My subscriber goal for September is 3,200 subscribers. Currently we're sitting at 2,421 subscribers, so if you can please help me out. If you're not yet subscribed, it's free, folks. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that all bell, so you know I will put out the new video. It will drop. You will get notified as soon as it comes out. Let's just get into the video right now. Today, we sold to one person $8,000 worth of silver dimes. We sold quite a bit of 90% silver once again. We still have dimes in stock right now. We still have quarters in stock. And yes, we still have 90% halves in stock. That is the recap on the store. I'm seeing a lot of smaller purchases though, like around $3, $4, you know, up to $8 at times, you know, even over $20 at times. But you know, people are just trying to get right now what they can afford to get, and you know what, I don't blame them. You know, they're trying to get whatever they can get, whatever they can afford to get every single time they come in. And you know, I hear people say, I wish I had more, because you know, everything is going up in price, as we all know that. And really, it's, you know, people have to back off from buying their silver products right now. And my response is, at least you're still doing it. You know, at least you're not one of those ones that went away for a while and, you know, and not buy anything, because it's, like I've said before, it's okay to walk into a coin shop and buy what you can afford to buy. And then that's all it is. It all adds up. You know, you think I got my stuff overnight? You think you're gonna get your stuff overnight? Probably not. You know, I sure did not get it overnight. I worked my butt off to get what I have, and I'm still trying to stack even more. You know, that's my goal. You know, I'm trying to stack as much as I can, just like anybody else. That's why I do my weekly reports. That is why I do my weekly reports on 90% silver. That's why I talk about 90% silver, because that's one of my things I love to talk about. And I know a lot of you folks out there love the 90% silver too. So I mean, we're gonna keep talking about 90% silver until we can't get it no more. You know, that's just how I'm gonna do it. And you know, the guy who we let's move on to the guy who brought in $300 face of silver halves. He thought they were all Franklin halves. Well, for you guys that not seen that video I put out, we found a 1901 Bobber half. Looks to us, it's an AU shape. So if it comes back from the grading company, NGC, who we're going to send it off to, if it comes back in AU 50, it's going to be worth about $2,300. Guy didn't want nothing to do. He said, nope, they're all Franklins. I don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah, we could have not pursued and tried to track this guy down, and the shop would have made money, but you know what? Our owner is not like that. He tries to get the people what they deserve to get. So he was a little irate at us because, you know, we did some investigation, and I'm not going to say how we found out his phone number, but, you know, we got his phone number. You know, we do have sources out there. And you know, he came in, and I just left the shop, and I missed him about 10 minutes, so I was working at home from another order from home for the shop, and he was irate, and the associate got me on the phone, and so he's calling me, you know, he didn't call me any names, you know, but he was very loud, you know, very kind of rude, but, you know, but we just told him, hey, look, if you would have gave us your phone number, we would have been doing this a lot easier. And it's the way we had to go about trying to find your phone number, at least. He said, I don't want people to know my address, blah, blah, you know, went on. You know, I says, what are you so concerned about? So we're not going to give anybody your phone number. We're not going to give anybody your address. We just want to do the right thing for you. Even though you said you didn't want nothing to do, you thought they were all Franklins. I said, you have a valuable coin here. I said, so we got a couple options. I says, we can sell you the coin back. I'll be happy to sell you the coin back, what we paid for it. I said, you give us the $13 back that we paid for, the coin, or it was probably more or less than like $11. I said, you want to give us $13 back? Yeah, well, I think it was about $11, $11.50, something around that price range, with the way everything worked out to be. But we didn't know the bobber was in that stack. We just didn't know until we started searching them. And he just went off, and I said, okay, this is what we can do for you, sir. If you just hush up a minute, I can explain what we can do. I says, I'll sell it back to you for $13. That's one step. Step number 2 is, I said, we can send it off to NGC. I says, it's going to cost us $40 to send it in. I said, our fee for the paperwork is $25. I said, we can wait for it to come back in, and I can make you an offer, and I will take off the paperwork fee, and I'll take off the grading fee off my offer to you at that point. I said, step 3, I'm willing to offer you $1,100 right now. And he says, I thought you said it was worth $23.50. I said, that's if it comes back in AU50, I told him. And I said, it could come back as an extra fine, 48, extra 49. I said, I'm taking a little bit of risk here too. I said, but it could come back as an AU51, AU52. I says, but I think I'm going to be in the ballpark here. I says, but yeah, I said, remember, I'm not a graded coin store. We're not graded coin store, on high-end graded coins, like rare coins like that, the high grade. We deal with NGC, egos and stuff like that, but, our clientele is not based on a high-end, coin like that. So we would sell it to another coin shop. They have to make a little bit of money too. And I explained it to him. I says, and I told him where the other coin shop was. And I said, you can take it down there after it comes in. I says, I'll be happy to sell it back to you. You pay the grading fee. You pay the paperwork fee, and you pay us $13. I said, you can take the coin, make about 60. I said, we're going to make about, I said, after this all said and done, I said, we're probably going to make about $60 to $80 off you. I says, my recommendation is, I says, wait for the coin to come back. Then I will recall you, make you an offer, and I says, I'm going to make you the best offer possible. I says, and again, we're going to probably make $60 to $80. Now, maybe 100. I didn't quite tell him 100, but, I says, but, I'm going to be honest with him, and I says, once it comes in, I'm going to have to call that other shop and see what they're willing to pay us for it, and that be based on my offer to you. And so he kind of calmed down. And after I got off the phone with him, the associate called me back about 20 minutes later, and he says, this guy apologized. He went off the deep end. And, we just trying, all we were trying to do is help everybody try to get their, we're not trying to take advantage of anybody. Even though he technically said to us, he don't want nothing to do with that, nothing. He says, well, the bag was marked all Franklins. I said, yeah, but it don't mean it's all Franklins in there. I said, when we put them to the counter, it's not checking for what type of coins it is. It's just checking the dollar value, face value, I said. So we're not checking at that time if it's something else in there. We're just checking if they're a little bit off weight, the machine kicks them out. And then it's like kind of like a Coinstar, this machine in a way. It's not checking for fakes really. It's just checking for if it's a little bit damaged, we'll just kick it out, and it just puts it back in the machine. And they went back in the bag, so we didn't see it at first. So we got him calmed down. So hopefully this coin comes back. I'm thinking it's going to come back as an AU50, an AU50 right on the nose. The owner probably agrees with me. We will see. We've helped people like this before. But the best way, folks, if you're selling, please, again, I know I've said this that's probably a past or two video ago, but I got to remind everybody this. If you were selling to a coin shop, put your junk silver, 90% silver, in bags by decades. That way, for sure, the coin dealer will know what to look for, even though you might not, even if you don't, or someone you pass it on to might not know after you passed on, because I know I get to see this all the time. And it really goes to show that you care about your stuff too, and put it by decades at least. Put the 40s with the 40s, 50s with the 50s, the 30s with the 30s, the 50s by the 50s, the 60s by the 60s in your 90% silver. And that way, when someone does go to sell it, the coin dealer will, okay, you got a bag of 30s, I want to check this bag, because there could be something worth more in here than just the average weight, or the 40s, or the 50s, whatever the case may be. So please hear my advice on that one. I cannot give financial advice, but I got to put that one out there once again, because I just don't want anybody to be taken advantage of out there. And we went above and beyond for this guy. And at first he was cranky, teed off. I could go on, but I won't. You know, but we trying to help this guy out as best as we could. What is Warren Buffett saying? We got some news out of Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's warning, 5.4 billion warning to Wall Street. Trouble is to come. You know, this is why he's probably selling a lot of his Bank of America stocks. Trouble is coming, folks. This is why I say stack as much as you can afford. You know, I get some emails in here, or comments in my comment section. Why don't I talk about this company? There's some companies I won't talk about. Not just because they're bad. I've not dealt with them. So if I'm really not dealing with a company out there, like a lot of smaller retailers out there, I'm not going to be talking about them, because I've not had experience myself. So when I give my weekly reports and you find something cheaper, great, put it in the comments so everybody can see it. But I just don't feel comfortable sending people there that I've not done business with myself. Those are my reasons. I got a little bit more reasons. There's a little bit of YouTube thing in there too that I can't really do that, because some of you guys have recommended a couple of these companies. They have their own YouTube channels too. So therefore, I don't want to go hit them when they do have a higher price. That is why I don't do that. Okay, so I hope that explains a little bit more. Two more pieces of news out there on the docks. Big Lots and LL Flooring. Big Lots announced they were filing for bankruptcy, but it looks like they found a buyer. But this looks like it's going to go into October here. And LL Flooring, just in time, they found a last-minute buyer out there too. And this will reverse all the stores closing down. Well, let me say something about that. I hope whoever's buying these companies up can turn these companies around. But look at Sears. Sears did the same thing. Look at these other stores who have done that. I'm hoping for the people who work there that their jobs are saved for a long time too. But normally when this happens, it's not going to be any better anytime soon. I mean, I really think if you work for LL Flooring, you work for Big Lots, it can still go at any time. So I mean, you know, it may be good news for now, but normally when this type of stuff happens, it still don't end up that great. And I'm hoping I'm wrong on this one. But you know, I've seen this too many times with stores that find buyers and they can't even swing the company around. And we will just wait and see. So there's the news out there for the day. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And now Coin Shop Chris is out into the next video.